Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from the channel Redolescence, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at a fragrance by the company Duo Fragrances, and this one is called 22 Shades of Bergamot, so stay tuned. Now, 22 Shades of Bergamot was released just this year in 2017. The perfumer slash creative director is Massam Raza, and he is responsible for creating all of the fragrances in the Duo Fragrances line. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this company, Duo Fragrances makes clones or reinterpretations of more popular fragrances. So they have cloned this one, which is a Le Labo fragrance. They have cloned some Roja Dove fragrances, some Nasamato fragrances, even some Xerjoff fragrances, and some fragrances that you would expect to pay $300 or $400 for, if not more, can be had for $50 or $60 depending on the coupon that you use, which I think is really impressive. Now, as far as Bergamot 22, the inspiration for 22 Shades of Bergamot is concerned, this is a fragrance that was composed by Daphne Bugi. It was released in 2006, and I have been wearing it for the past few years religiously every single summer because even though it doesn't last too long of a time, it's an amazing smelling fragrance. It's such an authentic and realistic interpretation of the note of bergamot. It's so bright and citrusy with notes of vetiver and petitgrain, and I think this one is such a close copy that, as you can tell, I have worn so much of my Bergamot 22. I was actually considering repurchasing this one, but now that I have this one, I'm pretty happy, and I think I'm just going to stick with this one. So I'm excited to tell you more about 22 Shades of Bergamot, but let's go ahead and start things off by taking a closer look at the presentation. Now here we have the presentation for 22 Shades of Bergamot. There really isn't much to it. I mean, it's a stock bottle, although I really do like the image that differentiates the various fragrances. This one just shows you a picture of a necktie, and of course 22 Shades of Bergamot refers to the original inspiration for the fragrance, which is Bergamot 22, which includes 22 notes, with bergamot being the most concentrated note. This is an inspired expression, so Massam Raza clearly states that this is not an original release. The cap does not click into place, so don't pick it up from the cap, and the distribution on the atomizer is excellent. It sprays out a lot of juice. Let's go ahead and continue with the smell. Now, I know the big question on everybody's mind is how close is this fragrance? And I can surely tell that this one is a solid reinterpretation of the original Bergamot 22. As a matter of fact, I have worn this for the past few years, and there was a good friend with whom I used to go to the gym all the time, and every time I smell Bergamot 22, it just reminds me of going to the gym and busting my butt off, so to speak. And whenever I smell this fragrance, it evokes or conjures up the same exact memories as Bergamot 22, which tells me that he got it really close, and I'm thoroughly impressed with how close he actually managed to get this fragrance. It opens up with a very bright and realistic bergamot note, and sure enough, Massam Raza did reveal to me or disclose to me that he uses real, natural bergamot in this fragrance. It also has a little bit of vetiver. It has a little bit of petitgrain, which accounts for the slight woodiness that you see in the base. There's also a musky component to it as well, but it just sort of comes off clean. It doesn't come off animalistic or musty or anything like that. This is such a great fragrance for the summertime because it's so bright and citrusy, and it just leaves you smelling clean, which is why I love smelling this fragrance shortly after I get out of the shower, because it sort of prolongs that feeling of being clean. And I think Massam Raza did such an incredible job at replicating this scent, so much so that it smells, I would say, you know, I hate to put a percentage on it because I really think you guys should go out there and try it on your own, but I think it smells 90 to 95% similar to Bergamot 22. It has a natural cedarwood note in the base that really springs to life the woodsy component of the dry down in combination with the petitgrain, because when you distill the essence of petitgrain, they use the bark of the tree, they use the leaves, they use the citrus fruit, the rind itself, so you have all of these different things and all of these components in the smell itself. And I just think Massam Raza did such an incredible job with this fragrance. I really urge my subscribers, if you're in the market for a citrus-based fragrance, which I know now that we're sort of trailing out of the summer, a lot of people are really looking forward to their more heavy fragrances, the fall-based and winter-based fragrances. But if you're looking for something that you can wear when it gets a little bit warmer outside, or just something that you can wear inside the house that's incredibly versatile, it's not going to offend anybody, I would highly recommend that you check out 22 Shades of Bergamot. Like I said to you guys before, I was thinking of refilling this bottle, but even a 50 ml bottle, and I remember back in the day, it used to cost $145, now it costs $175, and with taxes, you're easily paying $180 something or $190, or you can get this one in the vein of, I think, $50 with a coupon, if not cheaper. And this is Extrait de Parfum, so it's a higher concentration of Bergamot 22. Now, of course, imitation is the best form of flattery, and of course, this is the originator, so if you want the original, you gotta go for the original, right? But if you want something that's so darn close for just a fraction of the price, you cannot go wrong with 22 Shades of Bergamot by Dua Fragrances. I am thoroughly impressed, and I think Massam Raza is doing an incredible job. So, thank you so much for listening. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, of course, this is not a unique scent because it is a clone. So, by definition, unique means one of a kind, and of course, there is an original that this is an interpretation of, so it's not unique, but the overall smell is incredibly appealing, it's highly versatile, and it just leaves me feeling great every single time I wear it. In terms of longevity, it actually lasts a little bit longer than Bergamot 22 because, like I said, this is an Extrait de Parfum and this is an Eau de Parfum, so I probably get 1 to 2 hours more than I do with Bergamot 22. So overall, I get about 6 to 7 hours, which is not an incredibly long time, but as long as it gets me through the workday, I'm satisfied. Projection is really good for the first hour to 2 hours because it is a citrus-based fragrance, so the more volatile top notes are going to etherealize and get you noticed, and then once it dries down into that musky cedarwood petitgrain dry down, then it starts to sit a little bit closer to the skin, almost becomes a skin scent, but it doesn't completely die out until the 7th hour mark. So the performance is really good. Versatility is great. I just wouldn't wear it in the dead of winter, and I think it has that refined quality in the citrus, something akin to Terre d'Hermès, that I can imagine myself wearing this in a formal scenario, and I have worn it to work many, many times. I even received a compliment or two. Presentation, on the other hand, it is a stock bottle, so I can't say much about the presentation, although I do like the graphics that differentiate the various fragrances by this company, and I like the new cap. I think it makes it stand out a little bit, but nonetheless, there's really not much more to say about it. It is a stock bottle. And my final verdict on this one, I think it's a great fragrance, and I love it the same way that I love Bergamot 22, because at the end of the day, they smell 95% similar. So it's really hard to differentiate. I would be a hypocrite if I said I love this and I didn't love this, because they do smell so darn similar. So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. That was my review of 22 Shades of Bergamot by Dua Fragrances. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos. And please remember to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. This way you never miss any of my future content. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everybody.